So I am super pumped. I arrived home earlier today, and as soon as I walked in, I immediately went from the front door to the back door because I had to entertain my kids because they were absolute terrors for my wife over the course of this day. All the while, this fantastic box of comics was sitting in the comic book room, and I could not get to it until this moment right here. If you want to see what's inside, stay tuned for the video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. I am holding in my hand my handy dandy box cutter because I am about to open this box of comics sitting off to my right here. This arrived earlier today from CGC, and it is full of just goodness that I am ready to share with you all. If you missed my video, there was a video that I released a couple of weeks ago, and I showed you in that video comics that I was sending off to CGC. This is the box of comics. It has come back, and I am going to open it up. I already know the grades of these books because I don't like surprises and because I honestly could not wait. And so I know what's in here, but it's going to be very different because I'm actually going to take them out. I'm going to see them. I'm going to hold them. And so it is still going to be quite the experience for me. But my point is, if you haven't seen that video that I released, you may want to hit pause on this one. Go back, take a look at that video because it's a pretty cool video. And then come back to this one. And if you choose not to do that, that's okay, because I think you're still going to enjoy this video as I unbox these awesome comics. So let's go ahead and cut this thing open, and we are going to go ahead and get started and see what kind of goodness CGC has sent back to me. I will tell you that as I looked at the grades online, I felt that the grades were very fair. There were some things that I was disappointed with. There were some things that I was elated with. But by and large, I honestly cannot complain because I think that the grades are pretty darn fair. And I mean, who doesn't want a higher grade on a comic? So I'm actually going to start in the back of this thing. And we're going to start off right off the top with a really cool book. It is one that the grade does not surprise me at all. I assumed that this grade was going to be exactly what it is. I was hoping for maybe a half grade higher, but again, it is what it is. It is Fantastic Four number 48. And part of the reason why this book received the grade that it did is that there is a tear down here in the bottom. There is a massive crease right across here. And there is definitely some overall wear on this book. But it is a pretty solid book. And I will tell you, every single book in this, this box that I'm actually going to open up was cleaned and pressed by myself. I did the best job that I could possibly do, and I am very proud of every single grade, including this 3.0 on Fantastic Four 48. Definitely a cool book, and I have a couple of copies of that, but I mean, it's one of those things, you can't have too many of that one. This next one is, I think that I thought that this book was going to be a 3, to be honest with you. It actually came back a half grade higher, and it really doesn't matter because this book was sent in for sentimental reasons. It is a book that has been in my collection since I was a teenager, and now it is preserved, it is protected, and it's going to hang on the wall. It is going on the wall at some point. It is Daredevil number 7. And it is a really cool book. I absolutely love this book. And again, it's been in the collection for such a long time. This is where Daredevil battles a submariner. And it's actually when he debuts his red costume. Prior to this, he was actually in I think it was a yellow costume. Yellow and red, I want to say, costume. And now it is a red costume. So definitely a really cool book right here. And the pinup is in here. But they did note that there is tape on the interior cover. And again, who cares? Because it's an awesome book. Let's see what else we have in here. Oh, this is a cool one too. This next book is definitely an awesome book, and it actually fits with one of the previous. It is Fantastic Four number 50. This is part of the Galactus trilogy, 48, 49, 50, and I have a couple of copies of each one of them. And so this book is actually right Actually, let me take that back. I want to say I thought these books were going to be around a 4, but they actually came back, at least this one, at a 5. So 5 off-white to white pages. And I think that the grade is very much fitting with the overall condition of this particular book. Backside of this book was actually really clean. I mean, a few stains here and there, but by and large, it was actually a really clean book on the front side. It does, however, have significant wear on the spine. But again, really solid book. One that I'm very pleased to have in the personal collection. And this book, this one here is identical to the last, except that it actually has some writing on it. Slightly less wear than the last one, but it does have the writing on it, and the backside has a little bit of some tanning to it, so it's not as clean as the other. But again, different book, essentially the same grade. This one has a 5. This is a 5.0 with cream to off-white pages, and the last was off-white to white pages. So again, pretty cool books to have in the collection. And who doesn't love seeing Johnny Storm go to college, you know? So 2 cool books. Let's see what this next one is. Oh, this next one. This is one of my favorite covers. One of my favorite covers. And I did a video recently where I showed some of my favorite covers. Did not show this one because it was actually at CGC, so there's a reason why it wasn't shown. But this is Strange Tales 158, the first full appearance of the Living Tribunal. Definitely a cool cover, trippy story, but I absolutely love this one. It's cool because the Living Tribunal was depicted, at least on this cover, as being much, much smaller than he actually is, or how he's depicted now. But definitely a really cool book to have in the collection. And I absolutely love these red covers. You know that. I dig the yellow covers as well. So it's like a combination of a red and yellow cover. Definitely a cool book to have in the collection. And I was very pleased with the press job on this one. It came back in an 8.0 off-white to white pages. Very pleased with how that book turned out. Next one, this book has been in the collection for a little while. It's been in the collection, I want to say maybe 2 years it's been in the collection. And not completely surprised at this grade at all. I think I cleaned this one and it came pretty clean. It was in slightly bad shape, but there is definitely some wear and tear on this book. It is Ironman #1, came back at a 6.5. And again, can't be disappointed with that at all. This is one of those really, really cool book that I love having in the collection. And now it is slabbed, and it's really cool. Can't wait to hang this one on the wall. But there's a couple of stains in the logo here that I just could not get out. A couple of ink stains that I just could not remove, despite working pretty hard at those. So let's see what else we have in here. Oh, this is a cool book. This is a cool book. This one's cool. This book right here was one that I picked up at a local comic shop, and when I negotiated this book, we estimated the grade to be at a 7.0 or a 7.5, and it actually came back right where we anticipated that it would be. It would have been nice had it been slightly higher, but I cannot be mad at a 7.5 for X-Men #14. The page color is off-white to white pages. Again, can't be mad with that either. First appearance of the Sentinels. Just a really, really cool cover. This one actually has a really big, like, I don't think it's a water stain. It's some kind of just defect on it. But otherwise, this book is in pretty solid shape. Backside of it had a little bit of foxing, a little bit of minor tears around the staple, but generally a really, really nice book that, again, I am pleased to have in the collection. And I think I know what the next book is going to be. And it is that book. It is that book. It is another really, really cool book here. Really cool book. This is X-Men 12. X-Men 12, it also came back at a matching 7.5 off-white to white pages. That is a little bit of a surprise. And I can't remember which one it was. I'd have to go back and look at the previous video. One of these I thought was going to come back with whiter pages than the other. But again, off-white to white pages, 7.5, X-Men number 12. Definitely a cool book. This is the origin of Professor X and also the origin and first appearance of Juggernaut. So again, can't be mad at these fantastic, old, gorgeous covers from the 60s. See what we have else in here. I think there's several more books, so more to come. And while we're on the topic of X-Men and on the topic of red covers, X-Men 2. That's a cool book. This is X-Men 2, came back at a 6.0 off-white to white pages. Second appearance of the X-Men, the first appearance of the Vanisher. And this book is, it's pretty cool to see this one in the slab. This book has actually been in a bin behind me for quite some time. And it was nice to finally break this one out, clean it, press it, get it sent off to CGC. And this one definitely had some, a couple of things going on with it. A couple of stains on the backside, not the best wrap as you can hopefully see on the backside, but again, just a really nice book. There was also some stains on the front cover of this that I could not remove. Some kind of deposit was left on the comic that I couldn't remove, but again, really nice book. And again, just a fantastic cover, fantastic comic to have in the collection. See what else we have in here. This is the one. This is a cool book right here. This one is a cool book. This is Daredevil 1. Daredevil 1, 7.0. This one came back with off-white to white pages. And I can tell you that these white covers for me are really tough to grade. They are really tough to grade. I don't know, CGC sees, color breaking ticks and things like that on books, and I struggle with seeing those on white covers. But again, here we have a really nice copy of Daredevil number 1 that I'm pleased to have. The book did have some a little bit of tanning on both the front cover and the back cover, something I could not get cleaned, but this is a really cool book. And here, that's the Olds costume that he moved away from in issue number 7 when he went with the all red costume. I actually had a chance to read this issue, and I thoroughly enjoyed this original story of Daredevil. This again is the origin and first appearance of Daredevil, Matt Murdock. Just a cool book. I love that one. All right, cool. Couple of more books here. See what else we have in here. A little bit of some cardboard, some dividers here. What is this one? This is a cool book as well. This is a lot of Silver Age in this one. This is Doc Strange, 169, the first Doctor Strange in his own title. It's also his origin retold. This is a book that I picked up for a couple of bucks from one of my local comic shops when I had an opportunity to preview a collection that had come in. Was able to pick this one up. This one definitely had a little bit of a foxing on the book here, but came back pretty nicely. Unfortunately, cream to off-white pages on this one, but again, that was to be expected with this particular book. I knew it sending it in that the page color wasn't quite there, but again, awesome book to have in the collection. Cool book here. I've been saying that a lot. Sorry. This one is this is an awesome book. This is Thor 134, a book that I struggle to read. I've tried to read it at least 2 times. Cannot get through it. The D's and the Thous throw me off, but it is a Stan Lee story with Jack Kirby cover and art along with some other guy named Vince. It's the first appearance of the High Evolutionary, the origin and first appearance of the Man Beast. And just a really cool book to have in the collection. I went to a con not that long ago, and one of the people at the con had, I think it was like 10 copies of this book spread across. And pleased to have been able to pick up a copy of this book to have in the collection. 6.5 cream to off-white pages. All right, so one last book to go. This is the very last one here. And it is a pretty cool book here. This is Incredible Hulk, number 180. This is a book that I picked up actually from a member of the comic book community. This one came back at a 4.0 cream to off-white pages. This book had lots and lots of stains on the back side of it. There were some markings here, pencil markings where someone had written some things on it. Thankfully, the book actually came clean. I improved the overall backside of it, still heavily stained, but came clean, and there was actually a stain that actually ran through the entire book. There's nothing I could do about that, but very pleased with this one. This one actually came back at a 4.0 cream to off-white pages. So there you have it. That is the rundown of the run of books that I received. Super pumped about each and every one of these books. Honestly, cannot complain too much about where the grades landed. Definitely some really cool stuff. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, I definitely want to encourage you to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment behind. Let me know what you think about that stack of comics that I just shared with you. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Reggie Collects on Instagram and RegieCollects@gmail.com. Take care.